In this video, I'm going to show the solutions for homework 1 and the standard level. Now, because the questions are fairly straightforward, I'm not going to go through and actually write out the full solutions. I've done that previously, so I'm just going to go through some hints and tips on these questions for this first homework. Now, question 1, nice easy one. What is the value of 83 subtract 8? Just make sure that you write things down nice and clearly and that you actually use the operator in the question as well, and then double underline the answer. For question 2, I think of a number and add 42. The answer is 8. So what's the number? Well, we have to start with the answer, so 8, and we're going to subtract 42. Now, if you're not happy on doing these, that's quite hard to think of sometimes. The easiest way is to start with the larger number and to subtract the smaller one. So it becomes a very simple subtraction. We get an answer of 34. But what we need to remember is because we started with a smaller number and we're subtracting a bigger number, then the answer will be negative. For question 3, we're just multiplying two numbers together. And as you know, I like to use this box method. So we draw a nice big square, divide it down the center and across. We've got 51 times 34, and we just multiply 5 times 3, giving me 15. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 4 is 20, and 1 times 4 is 4. We then add up diagonally, so we've got 4 here, we've got 3 here, we've got 7 there, and then just the 1 on the end. For question 4, we are finding the sum of the following numbers. Sum means to add. I usually like to start with the larger of the numbers, and we've got the other two, and again we just simply add these together. Now when you're carrying numbers, make sure you carry a nice big digit so it's nice and easy to see. For question 5, we have to estimate by rounding to the first digit. Now the first digit is actually here. This one here is the first digit. The 3 is not the first digit. So if we look at this here, well, is this 5 or more? No, it's not. So we leave the first digit and just change this to a 0. So 23 is approximately 20. Same with 32. The first digit is this 3. And because that is the first digit, we're looking at this one and saying, is that digit there 5 or more? No, it's not. So that becomes 30. Now multiplying 20 by 30, we simply take the 2 and the 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then we have 1, 2 zeros. So we have 1, 2 zeros in the answer. So the final answer there is 600. Now writing the product of primes, this one here, writing 90 as the product of primes. Well, the prime numbers I've written here. There are more. I've just written the first few, and we might not even need all of these. And the way I like to start is with the number itself, 90, and I can split 90. Well, 90 is an even number, so I know I can use 2, and it's 2 times 45. 45 I can then split into 3 times 15. You notice 2 won't go into 45, but I know the next prime number, 3, will go into 45. And then 15, well, it won't be divisible by 2, but 3 definitely goes into 15, so we get 3 times 5. Now this is called a factor tree if you've never seen one of these before, and I like to circle the prime numbers, and if you notice they're in a nice even order here as well. So 90 is equal to 2 times 3 times 3 times 5, and that's these numbers here, 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. For question 7, Ken wins $88 in raffle, and he's going to share it equally between himself and 3 friends. And this is where the trick is. Well, himself and 3 friends, we're looking at 4 people. So 88 divided by 4 is 22. And these word questions I've mentioned before, we should actually write a sentence. So each person will receive $22.